Today we're going to look at a system of equations using 3 variables and 3 equations. So our goal is to knock these 3 giant equations down to smaller, more manageable ones. And we ultimately want to get it to say x equals y equals and z equals. Before we do that, let's find out what we're even talking about. Let's label each one of these. I'm going to call them 1, 2, and 3. At least we now have a frame of reference as to what we're talking about. Okay, I want to take 2 equations and try and cancel out 1 variable. So if I look at the first 2 equations, 1 and 2, if I just combine by elimination, 5 and -2, they don't cancel. -2, +2, that's good, I like that. -2, -3 doesn't work, but let's come back here. I like those y's, how they're going to end up disappearing. That's what I'm going to focus on. So first, I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to say 1 and 2 all over again. And there's going to be a lot of rewriting with all this. I now want to just use the elimination method, and we're just going to add these 2 things up and just combine them using like terms. 5 minus 2 gives us 3x. My y's disappear. -2, -3 gives us -5z. And 22 and 6 gives us 28. We now have a new equation that we're dealing with. I want to label that as something. We're going to call that equation 4. Okay, so we now knocked 2 equations down, 2 equations with 3 variables down to 2 variables. I need to do that again. We used 1 and 2. Now I need to use equation 3 with one of the same ones that we just used. I don't care which one. So we canceled out y the first time. I want to cancel out y the second time. So I'm looking at equation 3. I'm looking at y. Which equation could I cancel out this y easily with? Well, if I look at 2, I've got a positive and then it goes with the negative. I like that. So I want to do the same thing I did here, but with equations 2 and 3. So I'm going to say equation 2, equation 3, rewriting again. Combine using the elimination method. 5x and x give us 6x. My y's disappear. One's positive, one's negative. -3z and 1z gives us -2z. And where are we at? 22 minus 6 gives us 16. Okay, new equation. Let's label it. We're going to call this 5. Once you come up with equations 4 and 5, I want to do this process again, but this time with my new equations. So let's come up. We're going to talk about equations 4 and 5. Oh, awful handwriting there, sorry. Okay, with equations 4 and 5, my smaller equations, I want to use the elimination method again. I want to cancel out either x or y. Okay, 3 and 6, not the same, not going to happen. 5 and 2, still not going to happen. But can I manipulate one of my problems so the numbers in front do match? Well, what if I took the entire top equation, multiplied it by 2, 2 times 3 gives me 6. I like that. But again, I need one positive, one negative. Throw a negative in there. Now let's rewrite equation 4 with multiplied by that -2. -6x, 10z, and where are we at? -56. This now is trash. We don't need that. So let's come back here, combine these. 6 and 6, goodbye. 10 minus 2 gives us 8z. And on the other side, -56 and 16 gives us 40. Solve and get that variable all alone. Divide, divide, z equals -5. I like that. Great. Are we done? Sadly, no. We now have to work backwards and figure out what is x, what is y. So I want to take this z and plug it back into one of these. Well, let's take it and plug it into, let's throw it in equation 4. Why not? So 3x minus 5 and -5 equals 28. That's going to give us 3x plus 25. Inverse operations, get your x alone, minus 25, minus 25. 3x equals 3. X equals 1. I like that. Cool, we have an x, we have a z. Now we need that missing y. Well, we need to now take z and x, and we got to go all the way back to 1, 2, and 3. So pick one. Let's go for the top one. -2, -2, -2. So let's come over here. -2, my x value is 1, minus 2y, that's what we're looking for, minus 2 times z, which is -5, all over 6. Let's multiply and start moving things. So we've got -2, positive 10. We have, this is going to be an 8. So 10 minus 2 gives us 8 when we combine. -2y plus 8 equals 6. And let's start moving. -2y equals -2. Divide. Y equals 1. Great. We have x, we have y, we have z. We need to take our final answer, put it in order, always alphabetical order in this giant coordinate. 1, 1, -5. And that is solving a system of equations with 3 variables.